Scissor me timbers. After a very big, some would say massive beginning of altcoin gainage yesterday, the question is, will April continue to shower us in golden gainers confirm? And day after day, the entire altcoin market cap has been making new all-time highs ever so slightly. And for the last 4 days specifically, Bitcoin has had the least volatility of this entire bullish blast off so far. Will that be changing? What that means will surely make you laugh, cry, giggle, spit, and potentially much, much more. If you like massive eruptions, then you came to the right place. Welcome back, everyone! I'm your host, Tommy Testosterone, and on this channel, we turn boys into men and girls into men. Gabagool, we have a lot to be jumping into in today's absolutely special webisode update. With Ethereum touching on, over $2,100 yesterday, and Bitcoin is now 4 days into some of the least volatility we've seen in this entire bull blast-off for the past, 5, 6, 7 months. What is going on with Bitcoin, right? We've seen a historic reduce in volatility. Bitcoin over the last few days has literally basically done nothing. So we're going to be jumping into that as well. We're going to be taking a look to see if Bitcoin is starting to lose momentum, or in fact, potentially the momentum is just actually on the blast off, and much, much more. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and without any further gagoo, also make sure to enter for our 5 ETH 5 winner competition. 26 days left, guys. Absolutely very big. As of yesterday, that 5 ETH was worth like 10,000. I think it went above like $10,700 for those 5. So hopefully, by the time it's given away in 26 days, it is at least worth 15 big ones. That would be absolutely mwah. But without any further ado, let's jump on in. Wow, so starting off here with the entire altcoin market cap, as you can see, today we slightly touched a new all-time high for the entire altcoin market cap at about like 814 billion US dollars, and yeah, but you can see now it's been a little bit of a dippage confirmed. Currently, we're at about like 768 billion US dollars here. But what is this? What does this come after? It comes after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 straight green daily candles for the entire altcoin market cap. And this is truly just the beginning, in my opinion here, guys. Again, I think alts are ready to absolutely explode in April. But I want to talk about what I think is going to be happening in the very short term here. What I think is going to be happening over the next 12 to 24 hours. Now that is some juice. If we go here to, as well, the entire cryptocurrency market cap as well, we basically, did we set a new all-time high? Yeah, maybe by like a literal couple buckaroonies or two. We did set a new all-time high today, but yeah, you see a nice little pullback here so far. So what's going on with Bitcoin and what's going on with the broader market? So yesterday, we actually saw a fair amount of altcoins add some nice valuation. And as you can see today, well, for example, DAI, Uniswap, Chainlink, obviously Ethereum as well. Very nice gains over the last couple days here. But we see Bitcoin not gaining. And in fact, a lot of people were talking about the fact that Ethereum was up like the last 2 or 3 days, while Bitcoin was not necessarily. So let's actually jump, let's hippity hop into Bitcoin here. Over the last 4 days, look at this, guys. Each one of these daily candles, look at the size of these candles. Absolutely pretty ginormous, but look what's going on the last 4 days here. We have to zoom in so close to even see that these are in fact candles, right? You see, even not only are the candles very small, the wicks themselves are not that big either, especially compared to all the price action we've seen over the last few months. So where we are exactly right now is a key level on some shorter time frames, so we're going to be jumping into that. But yeah, as you can see, on this macro chart, this Bitcoin, I think, is very much in a setup for a nice bullish blast off. Now, I don't want to get our pickles in a bunch just yet, but just looking at this chart right now, let's see if this would make sense, right? Let's see, because this is not a bullish pattern. If this is a pattern, let's see if that kind of makes sense here. I guess just maybe something to watch, but I personally think this is a more bullish pattern. I mean, we will know pretty soon here, and there's a reason we're coming into so much resistance right here as well. Also, keep in mind on the daily chart, Bitcoin is above the 50 and 21 day. It bounced very strongly on the 50-day moving average back at the end of March. So that was a good sign. That's what gave us a little bit of hopium and a little bit of bull juice, absolutely for sure. 100% bar none, hands down. But if we then go to the weekly chart as well, guys, I think kind of the same thing shaping up on this weekly chart. I think we are in store for Bitcoin to do very well here. But again, I think a lot of these altcoins, specifically Ethereum, was able to get some nice gainage the last few days because Bitcoin stalled out. And that's what we absolutely love to see, is that when Bitcoin, like, look at this, for the past 4 days, really didn't do anything in terms of price action. Absolutely incredibly boring price action. Did the entire market stop doing anything? No. Even though Bitcoin was boring, some of these other altcoins definitely picked up the pace and started doing something very interesting. So this is kind of the key to the chart right here, is on this 1 hourly chart, this descending broadening wedge here. You can see where it's hitting that resistance is just the point of control in the VPVR here. It's just the area of most accumulated volume and like just the very, very clear rejection level for quite a long time now. Going all the way back to February 22nd. So well over a month, closer to a month and a half. This area between 59 and 60,000 US dollars has just been very challenging for Bitcoin. And I mean, that's illustrated here on the hourly chart. It's illustrated perfectly here on the weekly chart. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, look at all these weekly candles that have either opened or closed, right here on the top here, but have not closed above it. So we've been having a lot of trouble here, and you can see that historical resistance now at this point is a pretty dominant resistance. Like Bitcoin is very clearly having a lot of trouble breaking above that. And again, this was a potential bullish pattern that did break out bullishly, as you would expect this pattern. But look at this. I mean, ever since we came up here back on like March 29th, it's just been barely moving. Ever since we came up here for the past almost a week now, it's just been sitting right at this line. So it'll be interesting to see if Bitcoin gets a rejection or a breakout here. But either way, I think Bitcoin is just in a very bullish position for this month. So I think we are going to be setting new all-time highs for Bitcoin and many, many altcoins this month. Is it going to be the first week of this month? I have no idea. Nobody has any idea. But yeah, it's just something to watch out for. We're still in the middle of this move technically, so we can't really hold our breath yet because we still haven't actually chosen to complete this breakout here, or the charts haven't chosen that. And as well, you see that same level of massive resistance right around that same exact level here on the 6-hour chart. Right now, as I'm recording this video, we are slightly below the 20 moving average on the 6-hour chart, which if we close here will be the first time that we closed below it since when we got rejected back a couple of weeks ago. As you see here on the 6-hour chart, we've been bouncing consistently many times over the past 4 days specifically, also even going back further than that. But every time we come down here to this moving average on the 6-hour chart, we've bounced. However, as I'm recording this video, we're not bouncing. It looks, yeah, we're actually going down as I'm recording it. So that's a really big thing to note. And obviously, if we go to these smaller time frames, we're below the 20 moving average on the 4-hour, which always happens before the 6-hour, and the same exact thing for the 1-hour. You see it breaking down there a little bit too. So are we going to potentially get a drop here today? It's very possible. Long term, I think we're still in a very bullish breakout. So even if we get a pullback over the next 1 to 2 days, I don't think it really matters that much. Again, this is also the weekend, so optimally, this is probably the worst time to want to pump. So again, if we get a pullback on the weekend, that's better than getting a pullback on the weekday. Whether you like or believe in the CME gaps or not, which to me, I'm neutral. I don't really believe them, but they tend to close a lot. Again, I don't really have much of an opinion on the CME gaps other than they seem to close, but do they have to close? I don't think so. What specifically here for ETH, if we would get a pullback down to even about 1940 or so, that wouldn't be bad for ETH. And a lot of people would be screaming like, oh, ETH is collapsing. But really, if we just cement this area that we initially broke out of just yesterday, concretely, the previous all-time high, that's absolutely normal. It happens almost with every single breakout, like a retest, backtest, confirmation, totally normal. So if we would even go down to 1940, that would be absolutely fine. Again, a lot of people would be panicking, but if you know like basic TA, that's absolutely normal. It would be totally fine. Bitcoin would probably continue to drop if that did happen as well. Worst case, could we even visit a 21 daily moving average around 1800? Yeah, possibly. I don't think that's very possible, but it's something to watch out for. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, I had a position, and yeah, one of the positions I opened, the most recent one, was around like 1922, and I actually closed that position around 2060. So, and that was on the way up. So I basically opened up a trade position at 1922. So that would be like right about like here-ish on the chart. So it was already, once the breakout was clearly confirmed, right? This wasn't like an amazing trade, but it still netted me a few ETH in profit here. But so I entered the trade here, and I actually closed my trade when we hit about like 2060. So again, that wasn't a perfect trade. Like, for example, I closed out at 2060. We ended up going all the way up to 2140. So we went up an entire $80 higher than my position that I closed out of. So again, that wasn't the best trade, but again, I still made a few ETH in profit. My philosophy with trading is never to really, I don't really care about catching the exact tops or bottoms anyway. If you can make a trade that has a pretty high reward with little risk, which I personally thought that this trade was pretty low risk, and I mean, it was, right? Basically though, I mean, at the end of the day, I put in a trade, I wrote it up about $140 or so, and then I took out profit, and it went up for a little bit more, and you can see currently, we're actually just right now, as I'm recording, just a little bit lower than what I exited my trade at. And within the last hour, we actually went a little bit lower than that as well. But this is more of a short-term pullback, especially on these smaller time frames. I don't think it's probably going to be prolonged or anything, but yeah, I mean, the market's been pretty pumpy the last few days with all the altcoins. As you can see here, 10 straight days of green gainage and new all-time highs every single day. And yeah, so if we get a day or two of pullback, that's absolutely totally normal, nothing to freak out about. The market needs to cool down, as I'm sure you guys already are well aware of at this point, that you can't just only go up straight up forever. You need pumps when you get dumps, and you need dumps when you get pumps. Whoa, so if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, make sure to also enter for our 5 ETH competition. If you're interested in the competition, make sure to join. As well, if you're interested in trading, make sure to join Bybit or Femex and use the deposit bonuses below. No trading unless you have experience, and never trade more than you're willing to lose. And without any further ado, that's it for me. Bye-bye!